I'm here today with Cheryl Johnson. She's the leader of the Fusion HCM practice at PwC. So glad to have you today.
Thanks, Ingrid.
And so we're talking a lot about modern HR, and I wanted to know if you had any thoughts about what's one element that's important within modern HR.
Well, I think what's happening in today's technology within HR is so exciting. But the biggest thing I think from an element standpoint is sort of the integration that's happening with all of the different HR processes. So when you think of recruiting to learning to core HR to talent management, performance management, compensation, it's really exciting that these are all getting brought together. So I think integration is a key point of the new technologies that are supporting HR. But I also think reporting and now the amount of data and the quality of data that we're getting from a reporting and analytics perspective are really helping clients and customers and employees make better decisions. And so when you make better decisions because you have the information at your fingertips, you're really supporting the goals of the organization and able to help the organization achieve those missions that it's set out to do. So I think really integration of those elements, and then also the reporting and the analytics that can be easily retrieved and used to make those decisions are really the key elements.
Great, yeah, because I know in 10, 15 years ago how hard it was sometimes for managers to pull this data and be able to piece it all together. So it sounds like you've seen some successes with recently.
Absolutely. And I can identify because in my background, I started off in HR and started off as a compensation benefits manager. And, it gives me an interesting perspective when I'm working with clients and customers because I've sat where they have sat and the struggles that they face to support the organization. And so over 23 years have really seen such a transformation, massive transformation of the technology that really enables the HR function. And so it's exciting about all the new things that we can do now that we couldn't do 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
And so you're seeing more capabilities for employees to really take charge of their careers, because long gone are the days that the company, an employee had to rely on the company to sort of map out their career and say, okay, Cheryl, you're going to do this, and then here's your career path. The exciting thing with new technologies like Fusion is that the employees really have their career, in their control. So they can update their profiles, they can find their own mentors, they can figure out what do I need to get from a training perspective to achieve that next promotion that I want to get to, how do I collaborate with my peers. So those are things that are really exciting from an employee perspective. And from a manager perspective, being able to have, make those transactions easier to do so they're less time consuming and having the better information to make the best decisions on talent management or your human capital to enable that organization. Right. So it's really tremendous sort of where we're seeing, the technology going, and especially when we look at iPads and iPhone technology and having all of that at the fingertips of employees and managers.